the University of Southern California, the reigning king of the beach, AJ Adam Johnson. The opposition from Hermosa Beach, California, out of El Camino College, the primitive prince, Scott Ayakatubby. And his teammate from San Clemente, California, via UCLA, Coach Kira. This is the Middleweight AVP Chicago Open.
Hi again, everybody. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. Just once, I wish someone would introduce us like that.
Never going to happen.
It should be a great championship final. First, let's talk about Karch Kiraly and Scott Ayakatubby. Is that a team that's better than Karch Kiraly and his old partner, Kent Steffes?
No, not yet, at least. Certainly not in my opinion.
Okay.
Scott Ayakatubby and Karch Kiraly have had a lot of success. Played 7 tournaments together and won 4 times, but you mix in a third, a fourth, and a runner-up. You know, they've been very successful, but look at Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes. Chris, they got history. They've won 63 tournaments together in the beginning of the season. Before Steffes got hurt, they won both tournaments they played in and went undefeated in both. So Ayakatubby and Kiraly are good, but they got to play together a little bit longer if Kiraly will stay with Ayakatubby.
How about Adam Johnson and Jose Loiola? This is their 6th tournament. They've won once. What about them?
They're getting better each and every week. That's the best thing about any team. When they got together, they finished 7th. A lot of people said, hey, maybe this team's not so magical. Well, the magic came last week when they won in Baltimore, and Jose Loiola is the most exciting young beach volleyball player in the world, and AJ's won 16 titles. He's got a lot of good experience.
All right, AJ and Loiola against Karch and Ak. What's the key?
I'll tell you, this is a Wimbledon preview if you like grass court tennis for men, because it's going to be won or lost at the service line. In the semifinal, when Loiola and Adam Johnson beat Karch Kiraly and his partner Scott Ayakatubby, they served up 7 aces. But the biggest difference is the wind. It's really starting to come up. Yesterday, very calm and hot, but today the wind blowing off the lake at about 20 miles an hour will really be the deciding factor in this championship match.
Crowd is jammed in, and as loud as it gets. Scott Ayakatubby will go over the $1.5 million prize earning mark today. He will serve it up first, wearing the white tank top, multicolored trunks, and he's into the bottom of the net to start it off. There's Ayakatubby. Now serving for his team, Adam Johnson. Blonde hair, red tank top, blue trunks. AJ with the serve, his partner Loiola at the net. First point coming, and there it is. Johnson with a service winner, Loiola with a kill. They lead 1-0.
Adam Johnson and Jose Loiola on the good side. They're downwind. AJ can just hit this jump serve as hard as he wants. As long as he gets good top spin, it'll stay in the court.
AJ racking. Over to Ayakatubby, and Ayakatubby puts it away.
Super set that time by Karch Kiraly, really jammed close to the net.
Karch Kiraly, 34 years old, 6'3", 205 pounds, lives in San Clemente, California. He's won more money than any human being, $1,788,000, at least in the terms of volleyball.
Add to that all the millions of dollars he made playing indoors in Italy for Il Massaggero.
And now Jose Loiola, 6'4", 195 pounds, 25 years old. He serves it into the net. And just as we said that, a gust of wind has come up as the Windy City starts to exert itself.
Well, all these players, they know that that's how this game is going to be decided. Very windy conditions, different from yesterday. Teams will change sides, multiples of 5 points to sort of even out the windy conditions here in Chicago.
Loiola, Karch digs it, Ak is going, but it's gone. So Jose Loiola with the big blast.
Adam Johnson.
Told you he was the most exciting young player in the world of beach volleyball. Came up for Brazil a couple of years ago, the highest flyer out here, and loves to detonate. Karch can't make the dig.
1-15, no double final here in Chicago. Johnson and Loiola are undefeated. Kiraly and Ayakatubby have lost once.
And also Kiraly and Ayakatubby, this is their 5th game of the day. Because of the double elimination format, they lost earlier. Adam Johnson and his partner took the straightest line. They played 2 fewer games today.
Johnson, and Johnson smashes it. Adam Johnson, 6'3", 190. You look at the Ayakatubby-Karai row. One bump when they played Johnson-Loiola. Loiola serving with a 1-0 lead. Trouble. Karch, Loiola with a dig. Looking for two. See ya. Paul mentioned that Johnson and Loiola played less matches. Had a very tough one with Anginho and Hovland. Maybe the key match in this tournament for them.
Well, particularly in the quarterfinals, when it was about 110 degrees on center court. If they lose there, they don't make it into this championship match.
Scott Ayakatubby will go back to serve for his team, trailing 2-0. Ayakatubby, 6'4", 205 pounds. He's 30 years old, lives in Hermosa Beach, California. Didn't play last week because Karch hurt his back, and Ak couldn't get a partner in time. AJ, and he jukes it down the line.
That's AJ's favorite shot when he's in trouble. When the set blows a little bit inside, he's going to cuff it inside out. And whoever is the defender in the back row, be it Ayakatubby or Kirai's got to read that early and get on his horse. Watch for the number of shots that go down the line from Adam Johnson when he's in that position.
Johnson off speed, leading 2-0. Ayakatubby having some passing problems. However, no trouble hitting.
That's where I would go early if I wanted to get off to a good start. I'd go at Ayakatubby, especially since Kirai and Scott are starting on the bad side. Much more difficult to pass the ball.
Kirai serving, trailing 2-0. And over. Loiola right over the top of Ayakatubby and down.
That's kind of a new call that's taken on a different meaning. Usually when you say over, you just mean roll it over him. But Loiola, as the highest flyer, when you say over, just hit it right over the top of Scott Ayakatubby.
Jose Loiola with the serve, and he's into the net again.
They're missing way too many from the good side. They're trying to do too much right now. They've got the wind into their faces. It's tough enough to pass as it is on the other side, and this is just too many service errors early in this match.
Scott Ayakatubby to serve. His team down 2-0. Ace for Ak.
From the bad side, Ayakatubby gauging the wind, trajectory, speed of this perfectly. Right on the back line, no chance at all for AJ and Loiola.
One serving two. Loiola, and Loiola cutting inside.
I don't think that Ayakatubby and Kirai are trying to serve anybody in particular. I think they're just trying to serve as tough as they can, because logic would say go with the smaller Adam Johnson, because Loiola is not nearly as good a setter.
Adam Johnson with a 2-1 lead. And Ayakatubby shanks it out of bounds. Ace for AJ.
And that one was right in the pocket. That was just heat. Scott's got to get himself mentally ready and get into this match. He didn't have to dive for that ball or anything. It just got on him in a hurry.
Adam Johnson, who recently broke up with Randy Stoklos as a partnership. Johnson frustrated by the fact that they weren't doing better, especially with Kent Steffes out. Ayakatubby, it's 3-1. Chance to go to 4-1. Loiola. Oh, he hit it out. Not that time.
Out of bounds.
Just trying to loop it up into the breeze. Loiola just a little bit too much steam, out by a couple inches. That would have been a big point at the 4-1 side change. Instead, still at 3-1.
Karch with the serve. And Loiola right to Karch. Chance for a point.
Got it. How big is that miss now? Missed the shot long, does Jose Loiola, and Ayakatubby and Kirai come right back, and it's 3-2.
First side change, Kirai, Ayakatubby trailing by a point. You're watching the AVP on it.
And don't forget, he skipped about 6 years to play indoors and win 2 gold medals in the Olympics.
Adam Johnson with the punch shot. Let's set the players for you. Adam Johnson in red, blonde hair at the net. He's partnered with Jose Loiola, the Brazilian flyer, white tank top, red headband. They're playing Karch Kirai in the pink hat, and Scott Ayakatubby, sunglasses and white tank top. White tank top, very popular this week because of the heat. Ayakatubby, it's 3-2. And Karch gets the kill.
Really working on Scott Ayakatubby so far. You see him right there walking back. Karch has only received 1 serve so far. The other 6 going to Ayakatubby. He's the target.
Scott Ayakatubby talked about playing with Karch. He said the best thing about playing with Karch, You know you're not going home on Saturday night. It's a full tournament of work.
Better book the hotel room for both nights. Tough set.
And Johnson crushes it.
Well, that ball was really drifting onto the net. I thought right into the meat hooks of Karch Kiraly. See, Loiola's not a great setter. He's getting better, but he's not great. A little inconsistent. AJ did a good job getting that by Kiraly.
Johnson and Loiola 3, Kiraly and Ayakatubby 2. Championship final. And the ball travels long.
Serve long, set up, Karch Kiraly.
We mentioned that Karch Kiraly had been injured a week ago Wednesday with the back. There was some confusion whether he would even play this week, but his wife Jana told me that she set him 50 perfect sets down at Capo Beach on Monday, and her husband Karch knocked 48 of them straight down. He knew he was ready. The next day he was practicing with Ayakatubby on Tuesday. Loiola with the serve, and he whacks one out of bounds. So Loiola could be a little bit nervous. He won his first outdoor tournament last week, but he did not have to win against Kiraly.
Kiraly and Ayakatubby weren't there. But, you know, they beat him earlier in this tournament.
That's
so
true.
Already past that part of the test, but the championship match is different. So far, Johnson and Loiola are serving really close.
Ace for Ayakatubby.
That's the difference. Good side, back side.
Tied up in 3.
Ayakatubby's got an ace from the bad side, but had to do it tattooing the line, this time up the middle. Wind coming off Lake Michigan, that one with some heat, and AJ with a lot of room to cover up the hubby-wife area, up the middle.
Working on Johnson. And Adam Johnson rejected. Kiraly and Ayakatubby take the lead 4-3.
And now they're serving Adam Johnson. Earlier, the majority of the serves were going to Jose Loiola, the stronger hitter. But this combination certainly works into the hands of Kiraly and Ayakatubby. Go at Johnson, make Loiola the setter.
Good play there. Johnson is a magnificent passer, one of the best in the history of beach volleyball, so he makes it easy to set him, and it's up to Loiola to lob it up there for him.
Loiola does a better job keeping this ball off the net, and also a good call after the set. You call the line. That's the area that's open for Adam Johnson to shoot the ball.
4-3, Kiraly Ayakatubby by 1. Here comes Ack. Good set. And Ack teases it off Loiola.
Side out.
So, you know, there's so much court to cover with only 2 players out here. The defensive players behind the blockers usually have to pick a side, or they'll stand in I formation and fake right or left and try to deceive the setter who's calling out the open area. So you see a shot go down harmlessly. It's because the commitment has been made completely to the other side defensively.
Jose Loiola. And off speed. Good look there. He had Karch moving to the back line.
Karch has really worked a lot on his court coverage, and he's already one of the quickest guys out. He's got Adrian Crook, his own personal trainer, and they work on footwork all the time, how to cover the most court the fastest. 4-3,
Karch and Ayakatubby lead. And Ayakatubby rolls it down the line. Scott Ayakatubby, kind of an unusual name. If you follow volleyball, you know his name is Chickasaw Indian.
You did say kind of unusual, didn't you?
Yes. Originally spelled I-Y-A-K-A-T-U-B-B-Y. But his grandpa changed it, took out the I because he thought it was a little too complicated to say on the air on NBC.
That made it a lot simpler.
Ball's at the top of that. Side out.
Ayakatubby with the service error. And now Adam Johnson will serve it up. Adam and his wife Jennifer expecting their first child in November. AJ down by 1. And he's into the net. A lot of errors, and I think that players are having trouble judging the win, perhaps, Paul.
Well, if
or is it just crummy serving?
Both. It's crummy serving, and I think a little bit of nerves or lack of concentration right now from Adam Johnson and Loiola. They're missing way too many serves, and Karch takes something off just to keep this one in.
Johnson, and Johnson crushes it. Adam Johnson.
Loiola and Johnson played their last match out here on center court probably about 1 o'clock this afternoon when the wind was significantly less, and they get the long break, the luxury of winning the winner's bracket. And there's another mess.
Loyola's had all
I say a
kinds of
mess?
trouble.
Yeah, that's a mess.
A messy mess.
That serve was not a miss. This is a mess.
4-3 is our score. 12 service errors so far. Going to send these guys to serving school, Cindy. Here comes AJ. Chance for a point. Hack is up. And he hammers it. So you like the side that Ayakatubby and Karai are on right now?
Pardon me?
That's the good side for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're downwind. Adam Johnson and Jose Loiola have the winds at their backs. So Ak is serving into about an 18-20 mile-an-hour wind right now. The ball's going to dive in front of them, and it gives him the freedom just to bomb away as hard as he wants.
5-3 is our score. Karch and Ayakatubby have the lead, and Adam Johnson hitting with tremendous velocity. Adam Johnson winning the prestigious King of the Beach tournament last year, the individual tournament, which signifies the best player in volleyball individually.
And beating out Karch Kirai in the last match of that round-robin competition. Adam Johnson, Karch Kirai spent a lot of time together. They used to live in the same neighborhood. They trained at the same beach in San Juan Capistrano, Capo Beach.
Nobody!
Ayakatubby's off the net.
Oh, that's a good hit.
Wow. About 10 feet back. Never been any doubt about Ayakatubby's spiking ability.
Or his strength. I mean, he's not lifting the weights as much as he did last year because he broke his hand earlier in the season. Got in a little altercation, punched a wall, and hasn't been able to grip the dumbbells the way he would like to.
Johnson with the drive. Good set by Jose Loiola. Jose Loiola, a very emotional player. He told me earlier this week that I'm thinking more now. I'm thinking more about strategy, and he gives part of the credit to Adam Johnson. We're trying to think as a team. Doesn't want to play with so much emotion all the time. Wants to grind it out.
Yeah, wait till it's 13-all at the end of this match.
Ayakatubby gets the kill.
There you see the damage digit. Broke that hand in January and missed all 4 of the Avion indoor tournaments. Rehabbed it, came back, got it out of a cast, but it's really limited his ability to weight train. He just can't grip the bars the way he used to.
5, serving 3. And Loiola punches it to the sand. Kind of interesting, when Karch Kirai was trying to decide on a new partner when Kent Steffes went out with a shoulder injury, he originally asked Jose Loiola. Loiola said, I could not break up with Eugenio right away. Then he asked Adam Johnson. And Johnson wanted a commitment for the rest of the summer. So Karch, his third choice, Scott Ayakatubby. It's turned out to be a great choice for Karch. He really enjoys playing with Ak. Johnson is there, looking for a point. Yes!
Loiola's starting to get it going here a little bit, and AJ's going to get there. He gets to that relatively easily, and then inside out. Like I said, AJ likes to rip the ball and roll the ball down the line. In beach volleyball, that's a pretty easy save, but watch where he goes with the swing down the line.
5-4 now, and it could be 5-5. Johnson.
Nobody!
From the bad side, very important.
Timeout is called, 4:39 to go in the game. We are tied up at 5. Johnson, Loiola, Karch Kirai, Scott Ayakatubby. I'm Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. Adam Johnson in red serving. And he serves it into the net. So far, been pretty equal play. Karch and Ak got out to a 5-3 lead, but then Johnson and Loiola making a couple of very good plays, tied it up just moments ago. Karch to serve.
Johnson and Loiola started serving the ball in the court.
I'll tell you, I love the way Adam Johnson sets Jose Loiola. Perfect high bump sets. And Loiola, when he gathers, he is very difficult to block. It's just too high.
Rhythm, as Marvin Hall just showed us, very important in all things. But you set the ball high enough. You see Loiola's approach incredibly fluid. And that's a function of the height of the set and the trajectory.
Adam Johnson's partner, Jose Loiola, missing jump serves at a record pace.
Number 6.
Wow. 6 so far here in the final, and yet we're tied 5-5. Scott Ayakatubby has taken off the tank top. Johnson, Ayakatubby got it up. Johnson is there. AJ on the left. Yes.
AVP action.
Ayakatubby made a good play, but he couldn't convert.
Well, he read Adam Johnson. The set was inside, so, of course, Adam Johnson, more times than not, is going to go down the line. Ak is there. Tough recovery. And then this set could have been wider. If the set was wider, he could have had a swing, but Ak just had too much ground to cover and then unable to make the play.
Johnson with a serve. Karch digs it out. That puts it away. A far tougher chance for Ack.
Well, you can see how tough it is for the team trying to side out from the bad side. Missing passes, having to scramble, make things happen creatively. Whereas from the good side, it's a much easier situation of pass, set, and hit.
5-5 tie. And Jose Loiola will serve it.
Jose Loiola back to serve.
Loiola with 3 career wins. He won an international tournament and the Washington, D.C. indoor tournament. And then, of course, last week in Seaside, New Jersey. Ayakatubby, yes. Okay, Ayakatubby's hitting better off the net than he is on the net.
That ball set 10 feet off the net, and he's able to just go up and hit the ball deep middle. Johnson and Loiola have got to make that adjustment. Deep middle has always been a great place to go in terms of getting out of trouble, and that's exactly where Ack has gone 3 or 4 times.
Brent Frohoff and Rob Heiger finished 3rd. Tim Hovland and Gino finishing 4th. In 5th, Brian Lewis, Bill Bullion, Dane Blanton, and Ian Clark having a tremendous tournament. Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh in 7th, along with Eric Fanoy-Moana and Ricky Ludi. A lot of good finishes by some surprising teams this week.
Well, Dane Blanton and Ian Clark upset #1 seed Dodd and Whitmarsh, and then eliminated Fanoy-Moana and Ludi's. They would, of the teams not in the finals, they would be my team of the week. They were really, really good. And Frohoff and Heiger played extremely well throughout.
The winner of this particular game wins $20,000 to be split. The second place team $11,400, and Karch with a lollipop. 5-5 tie. Johnson, loopy down the line.
You chart it. All you got to do is chart it. That's where he's going to go when he's in trouble. When the set blows back or is a little bit inside, he's going to loop line.
Jose Loiola serving.
Loiola with 6 service errors so far, ready to tee it up in a 5-5 tie. Got it in. Here comes Ack. And thunders one through.
You know what Karch's kids call Scott Ayakatubby? Scott the Bomber.
And for good reason. Christian and Corey, Karch's kids, love to watch Ayakatubby bomb it. You saw that Scott Ayakatubby 4 wins before Karch came along. Santa Cruz with Frohoff. He won the World Indoor with Frohoff in '87 and then 1990 at Fort Worth. Then he won Baltimore last year with Eric Fanoy-Moana. And of course the wins with Karch this year.
I'll tell you, I got a little something on all this terrible serving.
Yes.
The wind has picked up so much. I think the players are having a lot of trouble with their tosses. You know, if you can bomb the serve, certainly it's a big advantage, but I think the ball's probably blowing all over the place in terms of tossing, and Karch, once again, just lobbing the ball into the court.
We might be going for a record 19 service errors so far. Scott Ayakatubby told me today that it's hard to jump serve on this beach because the sand is very soft. And if you couple that with the swirly wind, players are having some trouble. You could try a float serve. How about that?
How about making an adjustment? You know, keep the ball in and try to get something going. Score with some defensive blocking.
We have been tied at 5 for some time now, as both teams siding out perfectly. Ayakatubby, 30 years old. Both teams passing well, Paul.
Come on!
And Jose Loiola into the net.
Fails to clear the net.
A little bit of a crack. That ball set up into the wind, very, very high, blew off the net. We're already down to about 3.5 minutes remaining in this 9-minute game, and now just a 6-5 lead for Ayakatubby and Kirai.
Ayakatubby to serve with a 1-point lead, 6-5. Loiola. And he's off Karch. Made it hard enough. Karch couldn't get it. Jose Loiola prides himself on his fitness. He told me he's never, ever cramped in a tournament.
I remember a couple of years ago at the King of the Beach when it was hotter than any tournament I ever experienced, and he got into the championship round. He said, "I like the hot."
That's right. The hotter the better for Jose.
And he wasn't
Loiola.
kidding. Yeah, 130 would be just fine with him.
Grew up on the beaches of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Johnson having an awful serving game. Loiola's even worse. Johnson.
Ack is in the net again.
Violation.
Okay, it just shows you you can take some chances and miss some serves when you're siding out well. You're not giving up many points.
Ayakatubby was there. Karch would have been all over it, but of course you can touch the net. At no time, it's a violation, and Ayakatubby trying to reach a little too far. Contact at the top of the tape.
Karch, and Karch pounds it off Johnson, out of bounds.
Scott Ayakatubby back to serve.
So Scott Ayakatubby, who prefers a light volleyball to a heavy volleyball when he's jump serving, he says, I get more of a knuckle effect with a light ball.
But they're all very similar. I mean, we're only talking about a slight difference in weight. They get moisture on them, of course, during the course of the tournament.
6 serving 5.
And cut.
Great set.
Oh.
And Loiola pounds it. Jose Loiola grew up as a basketball player. He loved Oscar Schmidt and Michael Jordan. Those were his 2 basketball idols. Of course, Oscar Schmidt, the great Brazilian star.
Flies a little bit like Jordan.
He sure does. Johnson with the serve, trailing 6-5. Of course, if you're going to emulate Jordan, you've come to the right city. A lot of AVP players, of course, starting as basketball players. One man who never played basketball wears the pink hat, Karch Kiraly.
And over.
Come on. Karch with a dig. Oh, and Ayakatubby must have touched it. He dinked it right over the net.
Ayakatubby didn't touch that ball. He just missed the shot.
I'm not so sure I agree with that.
I don't think he touched it, Chris. I don't think he touched it. He just loopies the ball right to AJ, and Karch was really angry after the play. I think he would have known if there was a touch.
Under 3 minutes to play. Ace.
And AJ says, look, if we could just keep one in, we could score.
6-6 the score.
Get the message. Take a little off and serve the ball in the court.
6-6. Johnson stationed at the net. Loiola serving. Loyola's first really good serve
We'll
of this
take
game.
a full timeout here.
22nd timeout. Paul Sunderland, 2:51 to go in the game. Ayakatubby Kiraly right there, tied up with Loiola and Johnson. Ayakatubby with the blast. Both teams playing solid volleyball, not a lot of errors, with the exception of the serving department.
Well, the serving's been ugly, particularly from Johnson and Loiola, but Ayakatubby clearly the target here. He's received 18 serves so far in this championship. His partner, Karch Kiraly, only 2.
Scott Ayakatubby set to serve.
And cut over.
Loiola, Ayakatubby spears it, but it's going out of bounds.
Out of play.
Loiola hits the ball with such heat and so crisply that if you're there, you better be down and ready and committed to that spot defensively. See, Ayakatubby's on the run. There's no way you can cushion or make good contact with that ball to keep it in play if you're moving when he hits it at you.
Johnson in a 6-6 tie. And Ayakatubby bombing it down the line. Karch Kiraly, Scott Ayakatubby winning 4 tournaments so far this year. Mentioned that both did not play last week because of Kiraly's bad back. 105 career wins. That's 3rd on the all-time list behind legendary St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. Karch with a dig. Could be a point. Should be a point. It is.
Kiraly finessed that little knuckle pokey right over the top of Jose Loiola and in front of Adam Johnson. Tight set. Karch can't do too much with it, but the feathery little knuckle touch.
Karch Kiraly hoping to be the first man to make $2 million in pro beach volleyball. Over to Johnson. Nice shot. Boy, he really faked Kiraly and Ayakatubby out that time.
And good call by partner Jose Loiola. Bump set the ball. Look at the opposition. Look at the defense. Watch Loiola here in the white tank top. He looks right there. He goes, wait a minute. They're going right. We're going the other way. Calls angle.
6 serving 7. And Loiola, another service error. Make that number 7 for Loiola.
14 service errors between Adam Johnson and Jose Loiola. 7 apiece.
2 minutes, 19 seconds to play. 7-6. Kiraly and Ayakatubby leading Johnson, Loiola. Ayakatubby changing his serving strategy, moving right this time.
Wants to get it on AJ, I think. Didn't do it.
Karai set, and Loiola pounds it over Karch.
Jose on the attack with the side
You'll see a
out.
server move along the end line, either to serve into the wind or try to be more accurate and get it on a particular hitter. I thought he wanted to go to Adam Johnson that time, instead to Loiola, and you see the result.
Adam Johnson won $211,000 last year, a great year. And he's got the dig to tie it up. That's outside, and we're tied at 7.
Point, Johnson, Loiola, tie score.
AJ's there. Karch caught the top of the tape, slowed it down enough, and Ayakatubby making the good attempt. But you see that little fishing pole-like device wiggling up there? That's the antenna. Marks the sideline. Once the ball contacts the antenna or goes outside it, violation, the play's over.
7-7.
Angle.
And Karch bouncing.
I know. Karch to serve.
Karai with 2 Olympic gold medals, first in '84, and then again in '88. Serving Johnson. Ayakatubby got the stuff.
Told you, making the change. Both Karai and Ayakatubby moved over opposite Adam Johnson to get the ball on him.
1:54 to play, 8-7 Karai Ayakatubby. This is the AVP on NBC. Karch Karai win and defeat Adam Johnson, Jose Loiola. Ayakatubby will pass Johnson into 4th place. However, if Johnson and Loiola win the tournament, Loiola goes by Ayakatubby into 5th. $1 million given out by Miller Lite. $100,000 to the winner. So Karch Karai set to serve. 8-7 his team leads. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland. Here in Chicago. Loiola. And Loiola's blocked by Ayakatubby.
The play before was huge on the side change to go up by 1 and going to the good side. And Karai and Ayakatubby have carried that momentum over to the good side. Now you can see that sets well off the net. Loiola trying to just couple the ball over the top of Ack. Ack just went up with him and got the stuff.
All right, a full timeout taken by Johnson and Loiola. We're coming back. Ack and Karch lead by 2.
And $20,000 at the end of the year as an up-and-coming player would be huge for him, so he's bombing a lot.
Forget the game, take some chances. Here's Scott Ayakatubby approaching. And Ayakatubby hits it straight down. Let's identify or re-identify for you. There's Scott Ayakatubby. Big, strong, powerful. No shirt. Karch Karai, his partner in the pink hat. Adam Johnson, Jose Loiola on the far side. Loiola now in black. He's changed his tank top. Maybe to get his mood going.
Should be in a bad mood the way they've served.
Yes.
14 service errors, only 2 aces.
Come on! Ayakatubby with the dig. Can he put it away? Not yet. Loiola got it back. Right back to Ayakatubby. AJ. Karch is there. Karai. Yeah, that ball barely got out of Karch's hand before he ate it.
Yeah, this is the rally of the tournament right here. Guarantee you for it. And then at the end, Karch has time to adjust his sunglasses, but not enough time to get to that set that was about 2 feet too close to the net.
1:13 to go. Johnson and Loiola trailing by 2, 9-7. As Paul Sunderland suggested in the open that serving would be the key element, and it has been. Johnson and Loiola unable to get their powerful jump serves in and cause problems. Loiola. And he hits it off Ayakatubby out of bounds. 1 minute, 6 seconds, 5/10. Still plenty of time to mount a rally for Johnson and Loiola.
Oh, come on.
Might have been out, going right to Johnson. Karch got it. AJ back at you for a point. Yes.
I'll talk about the pinball wizard alive and well here in Chicago. quick stab save. Play goes on, and then finally, good save by Adam Johnson. That ball's got to go down. There's the pinball I'm talking about. More coming, and then a little soft touch, AJ, for the score.
9-8 now. Loiola and Johnson down by 1. Ayakatubby rolling.
Ayakatubby down the line, 52.7 seconds remain.
As Ayakatubby and Karai have 9, Loiola and Johnson have 8.
With the time on the clock, under a minute, Ayakatubby and Karai are looking for the 11-9 side change when they go over to the bad side. Want to have at least a 2-point differential, or just keep siding out and win it where they are.
Ayakatubby is long. If we're tied, when the clock runs out, the end of regulation, next point wins, sudden death. Haven't had that in a while. Like to see it. Johnson to serve. AJ moving over to the left side. And another.
That's number 9. That's number 9 service errors for Adam Johnson. Only 1 ace. As a team, they've missed 16. Ayakatubby and Karai, not great. They've missed 8 on their own, but Scott Ayakatubby's got 2 aces. That ratio 4-to-1, pretty good.
Karch with the serve, his team leading by 1. Right to Ayakatubby and down. Wow, 42, or maybe just under 43 seconds to play. It's 10-8 now.
And a missed set by Jose Loiola. Maybe feeling the pressure a little bit. As soon as Karai and Ayakatubby started getting it on Adam Johnson, who is a great passer. You know, Loyola's got to set more balls. Karch missing this one wide. And all he was trying to do was keep it in on Adam Johnson.
Now the serving game, very, very important for Loiola and Johnson. Got it in. Karch is back. And Johnson, I think, got a piece of it. That makes it 10-9 with 36 and 8/10 seconds to play.
Talk about feeling some pressure. You don't expect that. Look at how far inside that set was. Karai had to make a major adjustment right at the end. Wind blowing off the lake. Set moved inside about 4 feet, and Karai with the unforced error.
Timeout is called. We're coming back to Chicago. It's a thriller. 10-9. You're watching the AVP on NBC. And he serves it out of bounds. So Scott Ayakatubby and Karai, do they try to run it out now? Do you play your same game? This is where the strategy really comes in.
You want to get the 11-9 side change. 10-10 and go into the bad side. You don't want that at all. You're just looking to score points here.
Johnson and Loiola. Oh, and they let it go! The husband and wife play.
I think they let it go on purpose to get to the good side. They were talking right before that play. I think they wanted to get to the good side.
Well, they're going to the good side, but they trail by 2. And play Paul Sunderland?
Yeah, I think so. I think that Adam Johnson and Jose Loiola said, look, if there's a tough serve put on us up the middle, we're going to let it go. You could see they were committed to marching over to the players' rest area. They wanted to get to the good side. The key now is they got to side out right now.
11-9 is our score. Loiola. Clock is running 27 seconds, and Loiola tips it down. So Loiola and Johnson will now try to utilize their strategy on the good side. Serve hard.
Didn't need a rally. Karch trying to get the touch and just hoping that Scott Ayakatubby can chase this ball down, keep the play alive, and run off some clock.
Now Adam Johnson, 1 ace and 9 errors.
Make it 10.
Another one out.
All out of play.
I'll tell you, the jump
it's the worst serving game I've ever seen him have.
Much like the 3-point shot in basketball. You know, it can really help you. You can catch up quickly.
Well, today he's John Starks.
Karch lobs it in. He's up by 2. Johnson. Karch with a dig. 18 seconds to play.
This rally's running a lot of time.
Shot. Johnson, a very, very bright play, scooping it over.
Yeah, but Karai's shaking his head right now. I think a little upset at Ayakatubby that he wasn't more prepared for the trouble shot. Karch knows he wants to run time.
Down by 2, just under 12 seconds to play. Got to have a point here. Got to get one here. Loiola Johnson. And they have a chance. Loiola. Oh! He hit it over.
Play side out.
See, if they score there, they got plenty of time to serve again for the ace. A little bit of ill-planned judgment here. Set Loiola. Have him crush it.
4 seconds on the clock.
4 seconds left on the clock. They're resetting, talking between the officials.
If it's 4 seconds, this match is virtually over. Ayakatubby will serve it up. And the clock is running. Or should be running. Loiola blocks.
Up on the block, and that is
that's it. That's it. A wild ending. And Ayakatubby win it. The final score 11-9. We gotta go. They are the champs of Chicago. Karai and Ayakatubby defeat Loiola and Johnson in the